But this game Evertale was just like YouTube ads, before videos, and it was just blatantly copying like Pokemon and
Mm.
Amori.
Mm.
And it like was trying to push as like a horror
Pixel horror?
and Pokemon like mix. Because of how blatant it was, I was curious, like, is the
Like the
game
kind of
just
like
blatant?
cute
Like, no,
horror
okay,
Amori kind of thing?
the Mori room, like the all white
The
room,
all white room,
and
yeah.
and you walk up, they literally do that in this like trailer. So I was like, this is just
Like
blatant
the all white
copying.
room, right? The all
The
white
all
room.
white room, yeah. And then I was curious about it, so I started looking up like YouTube videos on like if the gameplay is just copying this. Apparently, the trailers have nothing to correlate with the gameplay. It's just a gacha waifu game. That's all it is. And I guess they're trying to push
You're
the
like, all of a
people.
sudden, I'm very interested in this game. You have my attention
Uh,
now.
you just had to say that. That's all you had to do.
You don't have to come with all this other stuff. I mean, you could have just said that from the beginning.
Is this shit legal?
I mean, I don't know, like how like much they pursue like false advertisements or anything. If that's really like a thing, like
Yeah,
that's
and
ever
then
like legally pursued or anything like that. I don't
and
know.
then the gameplay has like when a Pokemon uses Surf, you go on top of them and then you just walk drive
Mhm.
around like that.
Mhm.
They did that. Apparently, there's no type of gameplay like that. It's all like menus and then auto battling. So I don't know where the hell they got this footage from, but
Interesting.
it was just one of the interesting things
Interesting.
I saw.
Dude, did I ever tell you about like the stretch of, I say, like around 6 months where I downloaded every one of those like Instagram kind of spammy games that they put on like the advertisements, where it's like
No.
I did a sprint of, I swear it was around 4 to 6 months of just like downloading every time I saw one, I downloaded it and just played it for like 5 minutes. And it was funny because I feel like they were all made in the same engine because they all had the same like assets. And it was just like you would never get the scenario. You never get to play the scenario that they put in the ad. It was always like slightly different, or if it was, sometimes it was like a completely different game. It was very funny. It's and I would try to find glitches, and it was fun. I found like a couple of glitches in a couple
You
of these
find any
games.
good games?
Did I find good games? I found games that was like a fun time waste. I think out of all those games, I don't think I played any of them for more than, I'd say, 30 minutes max. Because I wanted to give them like their like I wanted to like because there were all the games where you like slowly upgrade your you're hitting something very far, and then you have to upgrade it to go farther, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You
okay.
know what I mean? That's that kind of
Yes.
little progression. So I would play it for a little bit and get like a little bit of that progression.
I forget those kinds. I'm not a big fan of those games.
No, I liked them when I was younger, and I would play them on like what was it, like awesomegames.com or something, or like Newgrounds or something like that. I feel like there was one where you were like driving like you had like a little car, and it would like go off a ramp, and then you had to get a better ramp, and then you had to get a better wheels or better,
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Stability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Get good
I remember
suspension.
playing those. Like those could keep my attention when I was like 10. It was kind of stopped being fun after that.
Yeah, if you're a aspiring game developer, does Unreal Engine 5 being released matter at all?
I mean, oh, absolutely, for the industry, for sure. For me personally, dude, Unreal is so hard. Unreal is like it's hard. That's why, like, I feel like most of the games that are on Unreal are garbage, because no, like, everybody's like trying to use it, and it's like
Hmm.
really hard to do games. And all the games I made were like 2D, so I think honestly Unity was probably better for 2D.
Okay.
Honestly, you can even go to something like Godot for 2D. So and I really like to do 2D because I'm like, if 3D, you have to like have a really good artist, or else like your game's gonna look kind of like weird. Like if you're
Like
just trying to
dog.
like pixel art, you can find some good pixel art, like some good assets online, like some unique assets. But for like 3D assets, it feels like if you're gonna get like just like third party assets, it's not gonna look good. Like you need a good
Hmm.
artist to make
Okay.
a good Unreal game,
That makes sense.
in my opinion. in my opinion. Someone could probably prove me wrong, but it's just
Hmm.
what I think personally, or what I the rumors are, or like the trope is in the industry, or like the the inside jokes. It's just like I don't know. But it looks really cool. It looks like
Hmm.
like at this point, it's funny that I talked to my parents and they're like, we're watching like a soccer game and they're like, oh, it looks like a video game. It's crazy. you know it's because like the line has been like we're like blurring it, we're like so close, like right there. It's like it's
Yeah.
definitely like would we say that we're like almost like on the other side of the uncanny valley, where it's like so realistic it doesn't even seem weird anymore. I don't know. We didn't talk about the true battles that happened over the last week. The
Uh,
wars that were being fought on the pixelated battlegrounds
oh,
of
r
our
slash
play.
plays.
That's my r/pace has been my favorite thing for the last 2 weeks or whatever, or it
Hmm.
was like week and a half.
Yeah, since April Fool's, I think.
Favorite thing, favorite thing. I loved our plays. That's exactly what I want out of the internet. That's like a thing where it's like you'll look back on it on 10 years and it's like, oh, that was cool. Like yeah, I remember like or like doing that when I was
Did you
I was
watch the
there.
time lapse that they put after that showed like how it progressed throughout the whole week? It was really cool to
Yeah, it's
watch.
super cool. Like dude, I think what I find cooler is like the wikis that are made like immediately after that have like a description for every piece of artwork that's on like the map.
Oh, really? I didn't know that
Yeah,
existed.
I honestly I want to make a video like going over that whole wiki,
Hmm.
because I don't know, I find that so much fun. Well, for me, what more than the art itself, honestly, was the backrooms politics that happened to keep all of this artwork like where it was. Because I mean,
Yeah.
if you looked at it, you'd see that. I don't even know if we described what our place is, but
No,
our
I was gonna
place,
say we should
yeah.
probably say
Before I go into like my war stories or whatever, but our place was this thing on Reddit, which was its own subreddit that had,
collage.
yeah, it was like they've done it before. They did it in 2017, and then they brought it back now, where it's just this kind of like this canvas of like this like kind of it's kind of like Microsoft Paint like canvas, and you can go pixel by pixel and change the color of one pixel every 5 minutes if you have a Reddit account.
Hmm.
And communities would like organize and make art pieces, and there were like actually very detailed, very like nice art pieces. But what was really fun was that some communities would want to, of course, like keep their artwork there, so it could always like it could be in the final piece of artwork, right? That's created, because it only lasts for like it was like a week, I think, that it lasted around there.
Yes.
So what would happen is you'd have things like streamers or like big game communities on Reddit like create a piece of art that represented their community, and then like have like everybody in that community defend that territory that they claimed with their art. And dude, they were one of the biggest villains of the whole thing was like XQC. Because he was coordinating his audience, which is like one of the biggest on Twitch, to like um specifically destroy like pieces of art. Like he had this war with Osu. You've played Osu, right?
Yes, I played
Yeah,
OC for a little bit.
yeah. He had this war going on with Osu, where they were like talking shit about him or something in real life, and he directed everybody to like bring this like huge like they call it the void of just black pixels, and it would go straight from one edge of the map to another, and then like straight for the Osu like artwork.
Hmm.
And because they were talking shit about each other, when someone went after his like XQC's like void or whatever that they were trying to destroy it or whatever, XQC told everybody to like destroy the Osu logo, but the people that were destroying XQC's art was another community, was the Turkish community or something. And after like destroying the Osu logo, it was like, I'm sorry guys, false alarm, false alarm. And then we had like people like Ludwig get bringing communities together. Like he brought the French and the Spanish in a Discord call and had them fighting about who was going to get certain territory. on the map.
One that the thing about that is the early few days
Mhm,
were wild because of the limited space. Because
mhm,
eventually they added a larger piece of the canvas. So like those early days when it was already filled, and there were a lot of people communities who weren't like on the canvas.
mhm.
That's when it was wild. Luckily, they added more,
Yeah.
and then you start to see a bit more communities and.
But you had the French taking up like half of the corner of the map, and everybody going after the French. Like there was a point where where the Eiffel Tower looked like it was being drawn by a 5-year-old because everybody was just putting their like they were trying to fuck up the Eiffel Tower. And I think I don't know if the Canadians ever got their flag correct because everybody was just trolling them by not letting them finish the leaf. um oh dude, there's just so many like little stories here and there.
In the
It
bottom right,
was so
there's like
funny.
all the gotcha games in
Yeah,
like a similar like
dude,
line
I
of
don't
corners.
know.
It actually got me. R slash place actually got me
Yeah,
to start playing Girls Frontline again because I just thought it was a really cool thing that they had their community together to try to
dude,
keep that thing up.
The Hololive logo almost never got touched because you know
Oh
that they
yeah,
had do that, and they even you had people making bots to do like to keep the artwork there. You know what I mean? They just had like a ton of bots. Some people were like openly like, "Yeah, we're using bots. We don't care," and then some people were like, "How dare you accuse us of using bots?"
yeah.
Like there were people fighting. It was I find that so funny and so fun.
Yeah, it was. If anyone hasn't, you should definitely watch the time lapse.
Yeah,
It goes over the
really
whole
funny.
week and how it progresses,
Mhm.
and you could definitely see how chaotic that thing got. It's
Yeah.
amazing. You could honestly just focus on one corner for a week, and it's a different story.
Yeah, you can watch the video over and over and over again and like
Yes,
find new things that are happening every time you watch it for
it's
sure.
absolutely interesting to
Yeah, it was
watch.
my favorite thing to happen for a longest time on the internet. In all honesty, that's like a fun thing. That's super fun.
Also, last week,
Mhm.
last week was the T1 versus Gen G series, which I was looking forward to because Gen G is my favorite team and T1 was undefeated, and this was finals to decide who would go to MSI. And
Yeah.
T1 won it 3-1, which was kind of expected. Like I wanted Gen G to win because they're my favorite team, but it was clearly to see that T1 was the best team. So it's not bad to see the best team go to, the qualifiers or the world tournament.
Mhm.
The crazy thing was the day or two after they won, they put out a public statement that 4 of the 5 members tested positive, and they tested at the game, like right before the games, and they all tested negative. But literally
For
two
like
days
doping?
after,
Just kidding.
for COVID,
For COVID,
of course,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
4 of the 5 members tested for COVID.
They're out here doing roids for
Yeah,
for a league tournament.
and the thing
Out here
is, like,
juicing up.
they were every time there was a game would finish, it would cut to, the players in their respective rooms, like having a team meetings and whatever. And T1 looked out of it. And people
Oh,
thought, like, they
yeah.
were stressed,
Mhm.
but
No, it's just
apparently apparently they were getting
COVID.
hit.
They're like,
Yeah,
dude,
there's a guy.
actually, that's kind of a flex. Low key, that's kind of a flex. It's like we destroyed you, and we had COVID.
Yeah, that's
We
why.
were in
That's
the
what
middle
they
of
were saying.
COVID.
And it was a crazy thing to watch. And the event was crazy. The production value for LCK was wild.
It's always has been, right?
LC-
It's been that way for a little while now. No,
LCK, I would say, has the best production value.
Mhm.
LCS,
Even in comparison to Worlds.
well, that's different. Like in
Mm.
terms of region, I would say
Mm.
personally, from what I've seen, LCK is the best production value.
Mm.
Then I would actually say LEC. LEC does a good amount of content and
Mhm.
everything. It always look professional. And then it's a toss up between LPL or LCS. I'll probably actually say LPL. LPL only started recently having an English broadcast, and I'm
What's
always
LPL?
referring to the English
I
broadcast.
know LE, but what's LP?
LPL is China.
Okay.
So that region having, and I'm referring to their English broadcast of it.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that the one that's for their own respective broadcast is a lot better, but LPL is. It's sad to say that LPL's English broadcast is about as good as LCS's only
and
broadcasts,
and
which
you would
is
say that's because
LCS
of
is
like
North America.
you would
LCS
say
doesn't
that's
really have it really
like
down.
they don't have the commentary down. They don't have like what is
I would
specifically about it.
say actually the
The
LCS, which is North
shoutcasters.
America, they have good casters. I would say one of the biggest things is observing is what I've noticed, which is since there is 3 lanes and jungler, choosing to focus at what at a certain time, and then also using picture in picture is really important if you want to show multiple things that are happening at the same time.
Mm,
LCS is clearly lacking in that, and then they also have a bad time of showing replays that don't seem significant, which actually kind of covers up important times of the game.
mm.
So there's a lot of things on the observing end. I would say that's the biggest issue with LCS, and then the content can be a bit lacking in terms. LEC I think has really good outside content, which is
Interesting.
Europe,
Interesting.
but it's fun to watch
And
each
they're not.
respective region.
See, that's why I feel like I don't understand too much. Like the different regions are they led by like different people? I thought like it would be all led by Riot. I don't know if it doesn't. Or Riot doesn't have much
They're all
involvement
they're each their own separate entity, but they all go to
for
the
report to
Riot
Riot. Yeah.
the Riot Overlord.
All right. Yeah.
They all get the
Interesting.
okays from them,
Interesting.
but each one's kind of run separately.
Hmm. Interesting.
And before we go off esports, I don't know how it got brought up, but I heard about Team Liquid Breaking Point, which was a documentary on the
Right.
LCS Liquid team in like 2017, or it's like 5 years old.
Mhm.
And I started watching it. It was like a 2-hour documentary, and it's crazy. It has 1 million views. Because thinking
It
of
should
like
have
an
more.
esports doc, no, like I think that's a lot for an esports 2-hour documentary.
Interesting. I
And
mean, the Smash documentary has a ton of views, so it technically is kind of esports now.
does the Smash documentary have?
I thought it did.
It could. But that thing was amazing to
Okay.
watch. It was interesting. It was raw. The characters, or well, the people behind it. Like you see some people who should not have ever been on a team. And this is also 5 years ago, back when esports teams and like the structure behind it wasn't as organized. So one of the coach was actually a content creator that got moved to coach that year. There
Mhm.
was a guy who got promoted from academy to the official team of Team Liquid,
Mhm.
and he had a big ego, or
Mhm.
he still has a quite a large ego. He's kind of known for it in the game or in the scene. And then there's also a player who came from Korea who was a world champion with Faker back in like 2013, 14, and was on
An
that
old
team as
vet.
ADC.
Yeah.
Yes. So there was a lot of big
The grunt
personalities.
was it disgruntled veteran or something, or like the
Yeah, and
grizzly
there are a
veteran?
lot of big personalities on that
Yeah.
team, and the arguments that happen on there is it's crazy to
Interesting.
watch. It's fun to
Interesting.
watch.
That's
Hmm.
that's interesting. Yeah, I love documentaries. I'm gonna have to give it a watch. I have to give it a watch for sure.
It's
So by
primo.
the way, the Smash Brothers, the first episode of like the original series has like 1.2 million.
Hey,
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely loved My Dress Up Darling. I finished it.
oh, it's finished.
It was actually pretty good. Yeah, I think it is done now. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Uh, really good. I kind of want to buy the manga at this point. We'll
manga's
see.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
you should hop on that.
yeah, I might
Oh,
buy.
did you happen to see that Attack on Titan?
Ooh. Oh
final
yes, final season
final
part three.
season part 3. What the hell is that? You
Dude,
know
we're gonna get some like some what's it called, Neon
the,
Genesis Evangelion, the final redux,
it's
uh,
such a
Never Let
joke
Die.
to me. It's
reminds
such a
me
joke.
reminds me of or go ahead.
You gotta announce like it's gonna have 3 parts at the beginning, because they've always advertised it. Final season, part 1 and part 2.
Mhm.
That was what it was. And then,
Just kidding.
hey, just kidding. You're gonna have to wait another year.
Yeah.
It's like that's basically another season. Like, well, don't call it. Oh my god, it's a joke.
Yeah, just like you should have called the last two like season whatever, and then this is like the final season or whatever. That's next one coming up next year. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild,
It
dude.
cracked me up.
I don't think AOT is ever gonna end ever.
They don't know what the word season means. That's
Yeah.
all I figured out.
No, then you're gonna have the final movie
Mhm.
series, right? It's gonna be
Yeah, you're gonna close it out with one final movie. Actually, it technically would be correct because it wouldn't be a
yeah,
season.
yeah,
Just say,
yeah, yeah.
mhm. Call it now. AOT, the final piece.
The final
That's how,
movie.
that's where it ends.
It's called what was it, the key or whatever? What was that? What they were going after for the longest time or whatever?
No, it was his basement. That's all I knew.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah, the
basement.
basement. You need the key to the basement.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's all. I have only seen the first season because I was just like, oh, that was good. I don't know if I want to keep watching. But I'm a slice of life trash, so that's where I'm at.
Hey, that's where it's at. Oh my gosh, so much trashy manga is getting posted, and I'm reading it all, and it's like not good, but I'm still reading it.
Have you heard any like good things about the recent season that's just starting?
Oh, recent season of anime? I
Anime?
actually haven't looked at what the shows are, so
Yeah.
not too much. Not too much that I know
We'll
about.
have to do some like bonus thing for
Next
talking
episode.
about
Oh, next episode. That'd be good. And also, for this is a brief K-pop aside, because we don't we don't get these too often. But the group from Hybe that I talked about on a few occasions, where my bias from IZ1
Mhm.
was a part of it and was just weighing on it. They're finally showing the members or debuting the members, and they're
Interesting.
gonna have a May release. And they had the debut video from my bias like 2 days ago. No, actually
Ooh.
yesterday. And all I can say is I
You're
was
like,
not
I mean,
ready.
I'm
I
not.
was
You
not
were eating
ready.
good. You were eating good.
I was not ready. Because God knows it's been like 7 or 8 months since she's been in any content. Like they
Mhm.
had the group just straight up in the basement working on their performances or something, because we did
We're
not
out here
hear
grinding. Yeah,
anything. Yeah, we didn't
they
hear
were, they were,
anything from them. And
they're
it's
out
just like,
here
all right,
working, or just working in the factory in secret,
yeah,
like getting
like
everything ready.
it was the grind,
Mm-hmm.
but it was good to see. And I might be joining
Out here working in the laboratory. That's what I wanted to say.
yeah,
Yeah,
cooking in the lab.
cooking
That's
in
what
the
we'll say.
lab. Yeah.
And I might be joining one of our friends who does K-pop
Mhm.
react or
Mhm.
reactions to K-pop
Mhm.
music videos for that video specifically, because
Yeah,
I'm excited for that
I
one.
could see that. I would want to see that. I would want to see that content. That'd be some good content.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
just
like
excited
I
for
feel like
that.
I could see you with like glasses and a clipboard here, like out here making notes.
But what's actually painful is I need to find this. I need to find a job quick, man, because my wallet is not in the best of spaces right now. However,
Damn.
I need this album that comes out next month.
I feel you. I
So
feel you.
we're at a dilemma point here where I need that income
Yeah.
so I can buy K-pop albums.
Yeah.
And those figurines that are gonna be coming in soon, whenever they come in.
So you're out here with like a Russian roulette kind of situation here. Like,
Got living on the edge. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And also tomorrow, I was gonna check out the Omocat release, because they're having a collaboration with Bang Dream, which is similar to, I'm gonna have to explain it because
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain it to me as well.
so Love Live is
Yes.
idols
Idols,
that
yes,
have like
Japanese idols.
yeah,
An anime.
they're
They have an anime
idols
now.
that have an anime,
Mhm.
and there's actual people behind them. Bang Dream is something that follows that similar concept, and I played that game in sophomore year, and one of the groups
So
I
when you're
really
in
like their
college,
music. Second year of college, yes.
Hmm.
I always call them like freshman year of college, even though it should probably just say 1 through 4.
Yeah.
But I liked one of the groups' music a lot, and
Mhm.
so I was gonna see how their pieces specifically look, and because I like Omocat's quality for clothes, so I hope it's a good quality and hope they
Interesting.
get
So
a
they
new
haven't
look
even dropped
video.
it yet. They've just
It's
announced it.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got announced like this week, similar to how they did Hololive, where they announced one a day.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, RIP E3. I remember seeing that. RIP
Yeah.
E3, dude.
No E3, and they didn't
Dude,
have plans for online, so it's
yeah.
just not
It
happening
makes me sad
whatsoever.
in a way because like when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to E3 when I got older, and like
Mhm.
like I was I'm still thinking of going into the gaming industry. So I thought like, oh, that my ticket to get to like E3 one day. And it's like,
Hey,
yeah,
got
I don't know about that.
2023.
We'll see. We'll see.
Got 2023.
It's like most people are saying Rip City to the E3 from now on, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess maybe it's just since like the pandemic or whatever. Like, I've just been having a craving to go to like every in person event I could possibly go to. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I very much want to go to, as long as it's not Anime Expo.
dude, I don't even want to think about how crowded it's gonna be this year, or would it be next
I'm
year,
surprised that
or no,
thing's
this year,
still
no.
happening. Yeah, I'm surprised Anime Expo is happening. But then
Dude,
again,
it's gonna be like it's gonna be a new outbreak of COVID right there, just because of Anime Expo.
yeah,
'Cause, like if it was full when we went, imagine now that it's like coming back or whatever, finally back to physical.
after
Or
a
something.
year break,
Yeah, dog, it's gonna be
I know
unsufferable.
people are not going to help themselves, and it's gonna be packed.
Yeah, dude. I think even if I'm like if I'm living in LA at the time, it's still gonna be miserable, even if I'm not going. Just because of how
Mhm.
much traffic there's gonna added traffic from that
Yeah,
event.
and
I don't
then
know.
Coachella's happening soon. I know
Coachella, Kanye
because
dropped out. Yeah,
oh, who did?
Kanye.
Oh, he did. I didn't
Yeah,
know
he got
that.
replaced by The Weeknd and Swedish House Mafia, which does
Oh,
excite my 2011-year-old self. Yes.
I don't know the second group. The Weekend's actually a good replacement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Weeknd's just pretty good.
yeah. And
Um,
does anyone know? What about Frank?
Isn't that like
What
the
about
meme at this
Frank?
point, right?
Well, he was gonna do last year's, and then it got
Mm,
canceled, and I
mm.
don't think he's going into this
I think the
year's.
big one this year that's going to bring in a lot of people is going to be the Harry Styles. Harry Styles going to be
Oh,
there.
okay,
Yeah, that's going to be probably a big. I could see that being big,
yeah. But
big
Coachella is
crowd for
normally an
that one.
outdoors event, right?
It is an outdoors event. Yeah,
Okay, that's a
yeah.
little bit better than everyone in the Staples
It's
Center.
still in Coachella. Okay, people that aren't from California don't know.
I don't know what Coachella looks like.
Coachella is one street, like a dirt road with like
Hmm.
one like a school that looks like out of like an old picture book, you know, like where it has the bell on top and it's like a little, you know, just one
Yeah,
building.
an
That's what
old boarding
Coachella looks
school.
like. Seriously, I was like, this is Coachella, dog. Like, where everybody at? Like, and it's in the middle of the desert, straight up in the middle of the desert. Um, I don't know why they don't expand. If from what I've seen, I passed through Coachella and it's like, damn, it's small.
Well, people aren't complaining on like
That's
the
true.
event.
That's true.
Better than what was that one that was on an island that was the controversy and it got a whole
Oh,
documentary.
oh god, it was like Fire Festival. Yeah,
Yeah, Fire Festival. I need to
yeah,
watch that documentary. I think it was on Hulu at that
dude.
point.
So, there's so many good documentaries. There's one by Internet Historian on YouTube as well. That's funny,
Mm.
but not as detailed. The one on Netflix is pretty good though.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, but events just seem
Sacrifices were made, even though it failed. Sacrifices were still made for that,
really
for that show. Yeah, yeah. You would
interesting.
you need to watch it. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about when if you watch it. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, I had no clue what you're talking about, but
yeah. You don't know what I'm
events
talking about. If you watch it, you know what I'm talking about.
events seem cool right now. Events seem really nice.
Yeah, dude. I
But
want to go to a whole bunch. I'm excited.
yeah, it's we're still in a pandemic. Don't forget. But the ones that seem really nice is E3 canceled. So,
Cancel
2023. And then probably
for me. TwitchCon as well.
TwitchCon is a good one. And like
Mhm.
for me, Crunchyroll Expo
Crunchyroll.
would probably be another one.
Crunchyroll is interesting. I just haven't heard much about Crunchyroll, so I'd want to see it. I'm
I'd
curious.
be fine with it because I think it's a bit of a smaller one. And I would
Mm.
be fine with that because Anime Expo just gets like the hairs at the back of the neck
I'm okay. I'm
standing.
okay with Anime Expo for one day. Maybe not for three. I just want. I don't think
Yeah,
have the
one
patience
day Anime Expo is fine,
for
but
three. Yeah.
that's that's not it, man. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I liked it. I literally needed 2 days basically off where one of the days we didn't attend and then one of the days I went into the manga lounge and I just chilled in there for a bit with some other people who were just reading manga.
I did do the runs. Like I think I did a full like maybe 4 or 5 runs of like the whole place. I think.
Yeah, there was a
I
lot to
like
take
running
in.
it. Yeah.
It was fun.
I don't know. Yeah, I want to see what it would be like to go with like a big group all together. I don't know personally.
Yeah, that's true. Because not once did our whole group go together. It was always groups of 2 or 3 or solo. Like that's kind of how it was.
I don't know, but it's fun still. Honestly, I think the funnest part was the apartment.
The apartment,
the Airbnb.
the Airbnb.
That was memories.
That was interesting.
Mm.
Was that?
I had fun with that Airbnb.
That was I'll admit some stuff, but that was, I believe, Andrew's first time watching Evangelion. I think when you guys were
at the beginning, it was like, dude, this is the most like basic monster of the week anime I've ever seen in my life. And then by the end, we're like, that was not what I was expecting. I think he literally said that.
I remember like taking my headphones off one time and hearing that from upstairs because I was sleeping on the couch downstairs, and I was also playing Fire Emblem Awakening at that time because you were letting me borrow
grinded that game. Yeah,
I grinded that game. I finished it before that trip ended.
Yeah,
and I was just like, are they fucking watching Evangelion right now? And I go up and
I hear you listening to what was it? Fly Me to the Moon or whatever. You heard Fly Me to the Moon. I was like, what's going on up here?
And the commentary was hilarious, so I had to chime in and go upstairs for that.
That was good. So I was like, you guys have never seen it. I think I was the one that brought it up. I was like, you guys have never seen Evangelion?
Oh, man.
You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. Because I think we even watched End of Evangelion. We watched up until what was available at the time. I don't think we watched the rebuilds, but...
I've never watched any Evangelion movie. I've only watched the TV show.
But I think... I don't know if maybe you weren't there when we watched it, but I think we did watch End of Evangelion, which is technically a movie. It's like pretty much 3 episodes kind of squished together, but I mean, they kind of turned it into a movie.
Okay.
So, honestly, End of Evangelion is good. Not the end of the series isn't that great, but that final movie is pretty good. Well, it's not the final movie; it's the final movie before the rebuilds.
Yeah,
which just ended too. I haven't seen the last rebuild. I've seen everything except for the last movie that came out like a year ago or 2.
My one regret for AX though is not getting tickets or whatever I had to do to go to the Love Live concert.
Oh yeah, I think that was like I think they released it when they released the tickets or something. Yes. You had to get it like that early or something like that.
I only found out because I saw a friend from school like at the convention,
right,
by chance, and he was going, and I was like, I didn't know that it even existed,
right?
But when I found out, I was just like, that sounds like a good time. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. That's like the one grievance I have, I think, with it, other than LA traffic. But that's you can't.
LA traffic was insane. LA parking it's even worse.
Nothing you can do about that. That's just.
You remember that? I think we were driving over there, and we had an actual like truck, like a full like a 16-wheeler or whatever, like straight up just like get into our lane, like just without we had to like floor it, I think, to get in front of it. But I was like, and it did like 6 lanes all at one time. It just like
gotta get with it or get lost. That's all I could say.
Yeah, it's wild. Like I was living very close to there was it's not once you get like in a certain spot in the 405, it's just like you're done, man. You're done. It's crazy.
One thing I do want to do, I think we talked about this your birthday. I want to go to the casino again, just a little bit of fun.
Robert, you're out here telling me it's like I need to get a job now, but also let's get in the casino.
That is a solid point.
Like, I'm gonna make a year's income in one night right now.
That is a separate aside thing. Don't mention the casino with what I mentioned before about my current financial state. But I just said that in general. The casino sounds like fun. Just going in with a small amount of money that I what little bit of disposable income I have left.
Yeah, yeah. That would be.
That
It
is
does sound fun. I'm not gonna say it doesn't sound fun, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm down to play some 21 or some. Out
Mhm.
here in the roulettes.
I want to
Out
try
here
roulette.
risking it all.
That's the main thing I want to go on is roulettes because I remember the
The
first time they give you
craps. Yeah.
anything that's not slots. I'm not a
Yeah,
big fan of
basically
slots.
anything.
Slots, the
Slots
people
are
look
literally
depressed.
depressing.
Yeah, it's
They're
a
depressing
little
machines.
wall of depression and just
And
secondhand
debt.
smoke and debt. Secondhand smoke because it's always a smoking section.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Good times.
good times.
Oh wait, have I mentioned I hit? I don't know what. When's the last time I mentioned I was playing Apex? I hit
Mhm.
Masters, and
Nice. There you go.
that was like the goal. And then new split started, so I don't know if I'm gonna try to go for Masters again, but solo because I played with Vince and sometimes a third friend.
Right. Solo queuing
So
though in a multiplayer game in 2022.
yeah, so
I don't know
we'll
about
see how
that.
it goes. We'll see how that goes. If I do want to try to go for it, because I don't have to. Like
Oh
since
man.
your rewards in one split is what matters, whatever rank you
Yeah.
got higher in. So I don't have to, but I might. And then I've been looking at a lot of like games that look fun, but once again, and I can only look at them because the job thing is the most important thing. But like
Right.
Tunic looks like a
Tunic. I
really
was gonna
good,
tell you about Tunic. Yeah, I was like Zelda inspired.
yeah. Tunic
That's
looks
Robert's
really
forte.
good for a story game. Bad. I think it's like Bad Death Theater is a game that
Interesting.
is out, which basically just goes through different stories of bad ends or bad end theater, not bad death theater.
Mm.
And that one just seems like a nice little story. I was listening to the OST a little earlier because I like the intro song.
There you go.
And
Good way to introduce yourself to other stuff. For me, it's been Tokyo Ghostwire. It's been so fun so far. The scenario is super interesting. I really like it. Triangle strategy. I like me some strategy RPGs.
that's the one
And
I'm
I've been
interested in.
playing a little Elden Ring. God, I wish I could get better at that game, but I do not have the time to like grind. Honestly, probably once we hit next month, I'll probably have a lot more to say. But
I saw some
yeah,
gatekeeping on that game. It was wild
what
on
Elden
Twitter.
Ring?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Oh yeah,
was
dude.
it was crazy.
People
Just
love that game a little too much. Yeah.
like they were saying, they were basically what I
No
saw was
magic.
someone.
No.
Yes,
You
no
can.
magic, no summons, and they were
Yeah.
trashing someone because the person posted they were happy that they beat a
Totally.
boss,
It's like you
and
didn't beat
then
the boss.
they said, and then immediately some comments came in. It's just like, is that magic? Are those
Is that magic
summons?
I see?
I see.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Yeah, it's, try playing the game how it's supposed to be intended, and don't use magic or summons.
You didn't play the
It
game
was
with
crazy.
no armor and a club. All right, fake
Yeah,
gamer.
it's a crazy amount of like, not even. It's like not even built in the system. It's just like
You
these
leveled up. Cringe.
these mental gymnastics people are making to like to gatekeep people who are just
Yeah,
like
you're
casually
not
enjoying
playing
the
like
game.
the developers intended, even though they put the mechanic in the game.
It's wild. It was wild. It was
Like,
wild.
what's his name? I think it's Miyazaki. That is the last name of the person that made it. It's like, you're destroying his vision.
Oh. What's the it's
From software, yeah.
from
Yeah,
software.
from software.
Okay.
I think his name is Miyazaki, the guy that made, who's like the father of Souls.
I'll play one of those games eventually. Not today or
That's a
soon.
grind. That's 100% a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki. It's hilarious how like, and I in a way I understand, just because I understand that how like communities could be so
Tight knit.
so tight, it's like tight knit, and especially because their game series wasn't as like almost like mainstream as it was now. Like it was like everybody knew about Dark Souls, but I don't think as many people actually tried it as
Yeah.
as with Elden Ring.
Yeah, they were
You
like
know,
George R. R. Martin. Say less.
we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, I think it's hard for some members of a community who like look at it as a very special thing that this game is so hard and that they like, you know, they're like good at it. I'm assuming or whatever. Or they play in a very hard
Mhm.
way. Um, but it's really dumb if you like look
Yeah,
at it from an outsider's perspective. It's really
yeah.
like
Their personality trait is revolved around
yeah, like being good at this game.
being good at this game. Some
Yeah.
people, it's actually crazy. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like they're exaggerating, but there are some people that are crazy,
Mhm.
like crazy rude.
Yeah, they have like almost like a dependency on like it's a part of their, you know,
They
a
justify
part of
it.
their accomplishments in their life that they've beaten this game on like with like you know, minimal equipment or something
Hmm.
like that. Yeah,
Those were a lot of
it's just
asides we
pixels,
went off
bro. It's
of.
just pixels, dude.
Pixels. Just,
You're getting
just
mad over
pixels.
pixels, bro. Touch grass.
Oh man, touch grass. Was that a 2021 thing or
That's a
20?
2021 thing
Okay,
for
it's
sure.
2021 thing.
Yeah, now you tell someone to eat grass.
Mhm. I need to, you know what? It's almost. Oh wait, it is quarter one. We already finished quarter one. I need to figure out what was my favorite album to release in quarter one of 2022. Cause, you know, music's still a big thing for me, and
Right.
I've been just looking at a lot of different albums, and I realized most of them are from 2022, so it's gonna actually be tough. I don't know if I
Yeah.
picked up too much new artists or new album releases in this time. That's why I'm really excited about this K-pop release that I mentioned earlier. It's
Mm.
hype. It's your time
Yeah,
to
I
get
would
into
imagine.
K-pop. It's your time
Huh?
to get into K-pop, Julian. It's time. The door's
Now's the
open.
moment. I still listen to a couple of was it From His Nine every once in a while.
Hey, good start. Good start.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. I'm still waiting for another release by them.
I
By
like the
them,
most recent from them, but yeah, I don't know.
the other group I want to see a release
Give me
from.
give me more Yukika and we can talk.
Well, Yukika's Soul Lady. That
Yeah,
album is not. That was the runner-up for me of
untouchable
album of
album.
2020.
Yeah,
2020? Yes. It was
yeah.
a phenomenal album, and it was the only album that she made under that label, which I'm sad
Right,
about.
right.
So much potential on like a sound in
On
general.
a sonic level,
Yes, it was
sonically
such a
speaking.
good sound, and the
Uh,
the fact that her and the producer who made that was in charge of that album are like not working together because she's under a new label. It's
yeah,
just it saddens me.
yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, I think we call it
I
because
think we've covered everything. That was a great time. Thank you everybody for joining us. That was episode 48
8.
of the Originally Lost podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. See you next week.